You guys remember this, right? Remember when they were handing out loads of cash to players on the field after a game? This is probably the most embarrassing moment in PSL history, in the history of South African football. There's nothing that was more embarrassing and shameful than this. And everything has gone wrong apparently since then. And I'm not saying this because like I'm wishing their business affairs tank, or I'm hating or anything. I really would want or would pray that everything goes accordingly well for them and they don't lose their businesses and their wealth and everything that they've worked hard for. But I think there's a certain respect that we need to place on football. Football is my sport, and I think it deserves a specific amount of respect. And this was a moment that just highlights, I think, just in general, how they've gone about handling their football affairs. The first thing is that Mamkhize bought the club for her son, Andile Mbisani. The club was named after him, Royal AM. And already from the name, you can tell that it's about them. It's not necessarily about the community. It's not necessarily for the love of football. When you name a club, most of the time you name it's about your place, your community, the people, and what it should represent. And I don't know if a club should represent one person. That's not football. What football club represents one person? What football club is about the pride of one person? You should understand that football is not necessarily for you. Football is for everyone. Football is literally for the whole community. Football is a poor man's game. It's always been a poor man's game. So, when they're doing things like this, you could even tell that the players weren't very comfortable with the situation. They were feeling awkward, they were embarrassed, and they were even calling the management out that they need to stop doing this. But since then, they've went on to deal with player contracts not in an honorable way. They've gotten transfer bans from FIFA, multiple, apparently, in relation to two players that didn't receive their salaries. In December, players didn't receive their salaries and players went on strike. And we understand that they are in a little bit of tax trouble, and SARS is basically taken over the finances of the club, and the club is under curatorship by SARS. So they're handling those finances, and it looks like apparently they will not be able to continue to fulfill their fixtures and their commitments to the league. And it definitely also looks like they are about to sell their status again to Bloemfontein Celtics, which is a club that they initially bought it from, a club with absolute soul and the best fans in the country. That's where they took their status and their name from that type of club with absolute soul and passion for pure football. And I'm not also for just buying status, but yeah, it's all gone bad. It's all really gone bad.